Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a game that has literally been going on for almost a decade. A great game for sure, and literally the best-selling game on the Nintendo Switch console. Still. This game came out in 2017, and if there's one thing that Mario Kart is known for, other than being a kart game with Mario in it, it's for its tracks. The game has a wide variety of courses to choose from, even before the Booster Pass, where the amount of courses was doubled. But what are the best courses? And what are my favorite courses for each cup? Most people do like a tier list and rank them, but I'm gonna do something a bit different. I'm going to go through each Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track and pick my favorite of each of the cups, talking about all of them in the process. That's right, we're going through 24 cups, 4 tracks each cup, with a total of 96 courses. It's a lot to talk about, and yes, this video is gonna go on for a while, but I say let's go for it! So let's not waste any time. Let's go through the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks, cup by cup, and figure out which ones are the best. Let's start with the first tried and true cup of Mario Kart, the Mushroom Cup. This first cup leaves a good impression, starting with Mushroom Stadium, which is a pretty good course. It's flashy, has some fireworks and bright lights, toads in the stands. It seems like a great celebration of Mario. The course itself is pretty easy, but also very memorable with its turns and challenge. I think I love the presentation more than the track itself, but it's a great first course. Next up is Water Park, which is beautiful. Love the aquatic elements, and is one of the first tracks where you drive underwater, using those special Mario Kart 8 physics. It feels like an actual water park, with it looking similar to Peanut Park from Mario Sunshine, even with the Nokis at the entrance. There's the Ferris wheel, the teacup ride, all the stuff around that just makes it feel like an amusement park. You literally feel like you're driving through a water-filled ride, and a scenic one too. Again, not too challenging either, but it's the first round of courses. Don't expect anything too tough. Third one is Sweet Sweet Canyon, and it certainly is sweet sweet. Delicious looking snacks all over the place that just make you hungry. You even have gingerbread men in the audience, even an adorable gingerbread toad. Can I eat him? The sweet scenery complements this track with not only stuff in the background like giant cakes, ice cream cones galore, donuts and sweets. Did I mention how hungry I am in this level? But the course has lots of fun jumps and gliding sections. Yes, you can use your glider here. You even have some piranha plants as obstacles. Get used to seeing them in these courses. It's a tasty looking course that's also a lot of fun to drive. And finally is Thwomp Ruins, a jungle-like aesthetic that has some cool mechanics, like being able to drive on the walls and use your anti-gravity, running past thwomps so they don't get in your way or even squish you. And there's a fun shortcut you can pull off if you do it just right. But if I'm being honest, this was my least favorite of the courses. It was the least flashy, and it can be a bit plain and boring after going through these 3 amazing first courses. But what it makes up for is the music. The other 3 had good music too, but I really love this track a lot. It was a magnificent time. I also love at one point how you enter the thwomp's mouth to enter the temple, and you also avoid rolling boulder wheels. Very Indiana Jones-like for Mario Kart. When it comes to Mushroom Cup, anyone could be a favorite, but for me, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Sweet Sweet Canyon. It's the most interesting look-wise, it's a lot of fun to jump around on the desserts, the music is nice, and it just has a great feeling when riding it, and the most memorable to me. Sweet Sweet Canyon wins the Mushroom Cup. We go from mushrooms to fire flowers. Next up is the Flower Cup. The second cup is the Flower Cup, which is just as good and starts with another Mario course. Mario Circuit. It's Mario Circuit, it's kind of basic. There's not much to say here. It's cool traveling all around the castle, the mushrooms are around, and it being full of Goombas, which can get in the middle of the road like a deer in headlights. Get out of the way, Goomba! But it's still a decent course that uses a lot of your kart mechanics. Other than the underwater one, of course. Also, I love how you're driving around Peach's castle, and at one point you even see it upside down. Really creative way to make a classic track just a little bit different. But it's still an intro course, so again, not that challenging, not much to it other than that. Toad Harbor looks great taking place in a harbor town, with boats in the background, a town that reminds me a bit of Sonic Adventure, and turns all over the place. Cool shortcuts you can bounce around in, walls you can drive on, and a trolley that not only looks cool, but you can crash into it.
Trouble with the trolley, eh?
Again, another simple course, but this one visually, I really like a lot. It's a nice one to add to my selection. Going from a sunny harbor to a spooky mansion, next is Twisted Mansion. The creepy doors opening in the beginning is a very nice touch. It's such a fun haunted house level. It's got a lot of horror vibes with the statues, booze and armor as obstacles, skeleton fish underwater, booze around, just all sorts of spooky fun, combined with some interesting track maneuvers. It's funny to think this mansion has a lot more atmosphere than some of the Luigi's Mansion games. I kinda wish it was just as scary in Luigi's Adventures, but I'm still glad the atmosphere is an A+ in this course. Maybe for Luigi's Mansion 4 we'll see him being chased by a fishbone. And finally, Shy Guy Falls, the course where you ride down a waterfall. It's so much fun driving in the water as fast as you can with all the speed boosts. It's probably my favorite part of driving on this particular course. Also, the water in general looks really nice, and the falls looks absolutely beautiful. The shortcut cave is great, but can be a bit tricky and you have to time it just right. There's also a lot of opportunities for tricks and drifting. And while it can be difficult as well if you don't know how to drift, if you do, it's very satisfying. It's also one of the main courses to feature Shy Guys, and they're adorable here. And get used to seeing a lot of Shy Guys as well. So what's my favorite in this course? Again, all good courses, so it's gonna be tough to pick, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Twisted Mansion. I love the atmosphere and the ghostly vibes. It also says something that I wish the franchise this course was based on looked more like this course. It's always nice to see a fun, shiny course like Mario have a darker course to it. And again, Twisted Mansion hits all the right buttons for me. Although if I'm being honest, Toad Harbor came in really, really close and could have won. And I may flip-flop between the two. But what's Mario without his stars? Next up is the Star Cup. Oddly enough, the first course in the Star Cup involves shines. Sunshine Airport is fantastic. I love how the course is not only going inside of the airport and seeing check-in and what it looks like inside, but also driving on the launch pad and even on the wings of the plane. It's really creative and an entertaining course. My favorite part is the big ramp where you're flying from the bottom of the launch area to the top of the Sunshine Airport. And it's just such a magnificent gliding section. And it's even cool that you see planes fly by as you glide. Also, the music is absolutely fantastic too. Such a bop. Also, yes, Galaxy Air, I see you there. After that is Dolphin Shoals, which is another beautiful undersea location. Even more so than the water park. You drive past a lot of undersea creatures like dolphins and manta rays. It starts out with you driving underwater and even seeing and riding on the eel from Mario 64, my favorite part. You also glide over these raging rapids, which is so awesome. It can be challenging with its turns and drifting and its multiple paths. I even love the pipes spouting water and making you go in a higher altitude. And like I said, it's very satisfying to do tricks on the eel's back. Get up on the eel's back! A really nice, beautiful under-the-sea course. Next up, get your raves ready with Electrodome. This feels like a course in the 70s with this whole disco-themed musical level. It's colorful, you can take multiple paths, and people can ride above you if they take a different path from you. I love the giant screens in the background with Bowser and his minions raving as you're doing a course. All the fancy lights like you're in a stage or a nightclub. It basically looks like a giant concert in the Mushroom Kingdom going on while you are driving. Very nice with the presentation. Not much to say other than that, then it rocks. And to end the Star Cup is Mount Wario. One continuous course where you start at the top of the mountain and go all the way down. Going down the snow, speeding through shortcuts, drifting through narrow slopes, going through the forest, all sorts of different environments until you reach the very bottom. It's full of slopes and skiing stuff in the background. I love the snowy aesthetic, and it's just fun going down the mountain while riding in a cart. I really had a lot of fun playing this specific course. And it was still quite challenging, especially if you wanted to get the shortcuts just right. In fact, it's gonna come between Mount Wario and Sunshine Airport on which is better, and if I'm being honest, I think I'm gonna give it to Mount Wario. Again, Sunshine Airport does really good stuff too, and again, it comes close, but I really do have to give it to Mount Wario. Again, it could go either way. It could change tomorrow. It's a course that makes me actually want to try snowboarding down a mountain, or even karting down one. But I think the last one will result in more injury. The Special Cup, because that's the name of a card in Mario Kart for some reason. And these special courses start with Cloud Top Cruise, with some amazing music, some of the best I've heard in the game. I love the beanstalk railings, going through Bowser's airship, gliding in the clouds, going through the storm where you have to use speed boosts, but also avoid lightning, so you have to make sure you speed at the right time, otherwise you'll get shocked and lose momentum. It's such a great track that I love and uses stage hazards to its advantage. It's very fun and doesn't overstay its welcome. It's such a great course. The second course in the Special Cup is Bone Dry Dunes. It's a well enough desert course. It can be fun to look at and has some cool shortcuts that can be difficult, like the one near Dry Bowser's mouth to enter the cave. But other than that, there's really not much to it to say. It's a good course, but it's still a pretty plain course and not much to say about it. Then we have Bowser's Castle, which looks as metal as heck. The castle scenery, lava is everywhere, the lasers that target you in the second and third lap, driving on an unstable platform while a giant Bowser made of fire comes to life and smashes you. It looks really cool. And it even has some fun challenges with the course design as well, making it a memorable and challenging one. After all, you have to time it just right to make sure that Bowser doesn't squash you like he squashed me. When you think of Bowser's Castle, this definitely sums it up just right. And you actually feel the terror and excitement while you're driving in the course. It's a great track for the King of Koopa himself. And finally, the first of many, Rainbow Road. This one for Mario Kart 8. I don't know if I like it that much. This may be bold to say, but it's probably the worst Rainbow Road if I'm being honest. It doesn't feel like a Rainbow Road. It's barely rainbow. It focuses more on the metal space station. I mean, the space station is cool, but to make it a Rainbow Road kinda just feels like an afterthought. I would rather it be its own space course instead. It's still a fun level, but like a lot of the Rainbow Roads, it's very challenging. I fell off the map so many times. Definitely one of the hardest, but I don't know, again, it just doesn't feel like a Rainbow Road. And I would have rather it be just its own different space course, like maybe Toad's Space Station or Rosalina's Space Station. Focus on the space elements of a course instead of making it a Rainbow Road. I know Mario Kart 8 needed its own Rainbow Road, but add some color to it, please. It's just gray. It's not Rainbow Road without the rainbow. Put the rainbow back in Rainbow Road. It's the first one you're gonna see here, and trust me, there are a lot better. And the winner of the Special Cup goes to Cloud Top Cruise, no question. It's just so epic and wondrous. Has amazing music and just a nice feel to it. It really feels like I'm going through a fantastic fairy tale whenever I go through the track. I love it. But Bowser's Castle comes in very close second. Here's my friend playing tilt controls. Has anyone seen a Koopa anywhere? Because next up is the Shell Cup. And just like an unexpected Koopa ready to face their maker, this shell hits you with a lot of epic tracks. Especially with their first course, Moo Moo Meadows. This track is so adorable with the cows. I love the cows. Even if they get in the way, these cows and the farm, they are just so cute. It's a short course that can be done really quickly, but I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's nice to see Monty moles as obstacles and have them being used in Mario Kart. The music is wonderful and wholesome. I love the use of the violin, especially in the final lap where it just goes super crazy. It's a beautiful looking course, it's simple and charming, and a great one to start with. I may be a bit biased with this one because I love farm sims, but come on, look at it, it's Moo Moo Meadows. It's a fan favorite. Second is Mario Circuit. Again, but this time it's the GBA version. Think Mario Circuit, but a lot more simpler than before. In fact, it's a lot duller in comparison. Again, it's a simple course. It's Mario Circuit. It's supposed to be simple, and there is some tar that can be a bit of an obstacle, but not really much to say about this one either. It's a nice track for beginners. That's all I gotta say. Get your swimsuit ready, because we're getting ready for Cheap Cheap Beach. And this is a pretty good one. I love the beach theme, the sunny skies, the lighthouse, avoiding the crabs, all the tiki huts around, and again, the water looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's so fun to drive in. At one point, you go to this jungle area too, which also varies things up a bit. It's a magnificent course. Although I may be a bit biased with it because I live in New Jersey and the beaches remind me of home. So this course has a bit of a soft spot with me. And finally, Toad's Turnpike. Did you know this course looks like an 8? For Mario Kart 8. The highway theme is awesome, as you not only have to avoid other carts, but also oncoming traffic. while riding on ramps on the back of trucks and driving on walls to get power-ups and speed boosts. You can even hit cars off the road if you hit them with a star or a bullet bill power-up, which, I'm not gonna lie, it's very satisfying to cause some road rage. The closest to Grand Theft Auto in a Mario game you're ever gonna get. It's also nice how the course takes place at night, and the signs on the vehicles are all very interesting references. It also is a decent challenge, but not as challenging as actually driving in a real highway. But as much as I love crashing into cars and beaches, I think my win is going to Wisconsin. Again, Moo Moo Meadows is too cute, too wholesome, and too fun, and it's my personal favorite course in this one. Sue me, okay? Look at that cow and tell me you don't love it. Look at the cow. Someone called Donkey Kong, as the next cup is the Banana Cup. And the first course is Dry Desert from the GameCube. It's fine. Love the Egyptian visuals, and the water section is pretty neat. It contains some cool landmarks like the Sphinx, pyramids, and the Oasis. The music is really nice too. Fits the setting and reminds me of Walk Like an Egyptian, or a certain tune for a certain Animal Crossing cat. That's right, you probably forgot about it, but I reminded you. Ha 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 ha! The Sand Vortex hazard also really stands out, but the original used to have a piranha plant that would eat you. Where's the piranha plant, Nintendo? I want to be eaten! Don't think too hard about that last comment. Donut Plains. Despite the name, it lacks donuts. It's honestly a pretty plain course. The scenery reminds me a lot of Legos and mini golf, but there's really nothing more memorable than that. The music's pretty good. I'm kind of grasping straws here to say anything else about it other than it's a decent course. Donut Plains. Then there's Royal Raceway, a course worthy of the princess. Basically Peach's Circuit. It's a pretty basic design-wise, but does a good job with the whole regal theme. I love the cherry blossoms, the confetti, the swan boats. It really raises the charm compared to the original version. At least that's what I'm told. Also, look at all the toads. The sea of toads in the stands to support their princess is honestly very cute. These guys are very loyal to their queen. Princess. Whatever. Not much to say other than that. It's a pretty nice course. And finally, it's 3DS DK Jungle, which of course has some spectacular visuals as well. I love how it starts outside and you wind up going into the temple with the giant golden banana. I love the cool tiki guys as obstacles. The ramps and course itself is pretty fun and fast-paced, and it really feels like a Donkey Kong track, representing Donkey Kong Country Returns well. Oh, and the music, phenomenal. Just love it so much. They really nailed this track so well. Did I mention how good that golden banana looks? Yeah, it makes sense for the Donkey Kong course to be my favorite in the Banana Cup. Yeah, I'm going to pick the cliche choice. This track just has so much personality, especially compared to the others. Not that Dry Desert and Royal Raceway didn't have personality, Donut Plains did not. 3DS DK Jungle blows them out of the water. I just have to love it more. They put too much detail in this for me not to pick it as my favorite. When it comes to the Banana Cup, 3DS DK Jungle gets the Banana Slamma. Are these courses turning over a new leaf? No, they're still good. The Leaf Cup is next. The first one in the Leaf Cup is Wario Stadium, a pretty okay dirt bike course. Feels like something you would see in a monster truck rally. Lots of dirt terrain and decent ramps and good places to make tricks. It has a cool golden Wario statue, which makes sense that he would have, but other than that, is it weird that this doesn't feel like a Wario course? It just feels like a dirt road with Wario's name slapped onto it. It also doesn't help that Waluigi's music plays in this one too. I feel like if Wario got his own theme or remix, this would fit much more. But it doesn't feel like Wario owns it. Even Mount Wario felt more like a Wario track than this. Overall, it's okay, but not the best start when it comes to courses. Sherbet Land, an ice course filled with snow. And I like the fact that you can either race above the ice or in the freezing cold water. Don't worry, this water won't kill you somehow. It allows some variety so you can do a course one way at one lap and another way the next lap. And the third lap, whatever, do what you want. The snow theme is very cute and the Shy Guys skating are absolutely adorable. Along with the icicles with faces on them, these Mario references really fit. And they can also make interesting obstacles too. Don't disturb the Shy Guys when they're skating, please. It's a very cozy track for a fun, cold winter stage. Music Park looks just so stunning. And I love how the theme of music is all over the place with this track. There's giant music notes with faces. You drive on piano keys. that also make notes that you drive over, by the way, even forming a chord progression during your turns. How cool is that? Bouncing on the drums, there's a jumping rhythm game during the course. Music is everywhere and a big part of this track, and it wouldn't be the same without it. It can be a bit challenging, one of the most challenging tracks, to be honest, but no matter how much of a terrible Mario Kart player I am, I'm having an amazing time in this course. Even if I'm just listening to the music of the course in general, it's such a good time. I love it. And finally, Yoshi's Valley. A cute Yoshi course. There's a giant Yoshi egg obstacle. It has this sort of desert farm vibe going for it, and you can picture the Yoshis living there. Multiple pathways, some faster and slower than others, so choose wisely while driving, and the music is pretty good. You just gotta love the banjo that plays during this one. Also, the giant Yoshi statue is cool too, although I prefer the giant moving Bowser statue. A nice course, but not my favorite Yoshi course. We'll get to that one much later. And let's get ready to sing some show tunes because Music Park is the winner of this one. I kinda had to choose this one as a favorite. There's just so much detail to this concerto of a course. Not to mention, I am a music man. Not the music man, I can't sell trombones or anything. I love anything to do with music, so the fact it combines wacky instruments in a whole little course, ugh, I love it. I love it so much. No contests. You got trouble right here in Music Park. Next up is the Lightning Cup, named after everyone's favorite power-up. And we start this with Tick-Tock Clock. Insert TikTok joke here. It's very mechanical as we drive across all different sorts of clocks. Big clocks, small clocks, clocks that climb on rocks. At one point you can ride the big and the little hand to get through the course a bit faster as a shortcut, but it's certainly very risky. The design combined with the music is a very unique course, but I'd be lying if it wasn't very challenging. I honestly forgot about this one and confused it with Music Melody before I played them back to back. It's a decent course, just not one of my favorites, but a good one to start with. Piranha Plant Slide is also a unique one, going from above ground to the watery slides and the pipes. The pipes remind me a lot of the original Super Mario Bros., only with piranha plants all around. Going underwater is nice, and it's just a cool looking course with the underwater visuals. There's also a giant piranha plant too! Fun colors all around the sewer, and just a neat slide level. Can't say much more other than that. Whee! Rumble Volcano! I would say this is a cool level, but I don't know. It looks hot to me! You're driving around a volcano, and I love how as the course goes on, everything just gets crazier and crazier. You are driving an already intense volcano filled with hot, boiling lava, but don't let that cool you off. Potaboos appear, the ground and terrain crumble around you, and platforms start to sink. It's a short track, but extremely memorable and extremely chaotic. And I love this chaos for sure. As Hades from Kingdom Hearts once said, feel the heat. Hey look! It's another Rainbow Road! But this one has a cool train! This is the most nostalgic Rainbow Road for me, as it is the one on the Nintendo 64, the one I grew up with. It looks absolutely beautiful, as colorful as a Rainbow Road should be. Take lessons, Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road! The train with Toads riding on it is such a mystical and timeless touch that I adore. I may enjoy this more because of the music and nostalgia, but why can you only go through it once? The original Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road was 3 laps. Why did they change it? I want to see this course more than once, gosh dang it. Honestly, the two main ones here are Rumble Volcano and Rainbow Road. It's a slim margin, but I'm gonna give it to Rumble Volcano, mostly because they messed up Rainbow Road. Still good, but could have been better. I'll take chaos over nostalgia any day. And with that, we got the original courses of Mario Kart 8, but now we got the Wii U DLC. We're a quarter of the way there. It's time for the Egg Cup, the most excellent cup of them all. Excellent. Yoshi's Circuit, another circuit course, but for the Yoshster. It's adorable, music that fits, there are Yoshis in the audience this time, and while there isn't a giant egg in the Egg Cup, false advertising, the whole course and track are shaped like Yoshi, which is a nice touch. Also, going through the Yoshi town in the middle of the course provides some great scenery too. Apparently there was a shortcut in the older version that got cut for some reason. Not sure why, but I never got to experience it, so it's sad, I guess. Excite Bike Arena, a wonderful course that's a tribute to an OK SNES game. Thrilling! This course is a lot of fun. It looks exactly like the game, and it is very fast-paced, just like a dirt bike arena. It's super fast, and you can do a trick almost every single ramp, making you go even faster. all while having to avoid dirt obstacles too. There's even stoppers just like the original game. My favorite thing is just doing a trick on every single ramp I can. So satisfying. It goes by quick, but it leaves a lasting impact. I love it. Dragon Driftway is apparently a reference to Mario Galaxy 2, but I never played Mario Galaxy 2, so I didn't get it. But it's okay, I enjoyed it anyway. You literally are riding the back of a dragon on this course, and it's always cool to ride a dragon in a Nintendo game. And it's happening quite a lot this year, actually. At one point, it goes into this temple with Lakitus. You can race upside down at one point, which is awesome. And does this course drift? There are so many opportunities to drift. So if you are like me and not the best at it, you're gonna have a rough time. But even so, I thought this course was very entertaining and really fun to play. I liked it a lot. And finally, Mute City, the first F-Zero track. And my god, the music in this is so good. Listen to that sax, baby, oh yeah. It looks just like F-Zero. You see the racers in the background. You can even get shocked if you touch the walls, just like if you were playing the game. The track is also a nice time too, as the combination of references to F-Zero with the intense racing gameplay of Mario Kart truly feels like a match made in heaven. It works so well together, and honestly, they feel like they should have belonged in Mario Kart a long time ago. We may have not gotten an F-Zero game, but I'm happy to get this course in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Honestly, this has some really good courses. 3 out of the 4 of them I could choose as my favorites. Sorry, Yoshi Circuit. But if I'm picking my absolute favorites, I'm gonna give it to Excite Bike. And I wonder what's next. Let me open something real quick. Triforce! The Triforce Cup. And we start with the most Zelda thing you could think of. Wario's Gold Mine. Now this feels like a Wario stage. A gold mine where you drive in a desert area, driving on and inside of a mine. The banjo music is super funny. The chaos riding in minecarts is great. Hitting those same minecarts to make sure you go faster. It's a chaotic track that, again, fits Wario to a T. I could totally see the garlic lover mining for gold more than I could ever see them in a monster truck derby. After all, look at his nose. He's already digging for gold already. Oh, hey, look at that! Another rainbow road! It looks nice, but it has no railing, so it could be deadly. And like other rainbow roads, it's super colorful. It looks like more we're riding on individual lights, though, than it being a rainbow. This course is pretty challenging, and you are probably going to fall off a lot. Plus, you have intense turns and even these large thwomps that not only can land on you, but can also shake up the entire course in some sort of ripple effect. It's really a spectacular road, but you will fall off of it if you don't know what you're doing. So some people may be put off by it, but I really like it. Probably my second favorite of the Rainbow Road so far. Ice Ice Outpost is a nice outpost. My brain is frying already from this script. It's a pretty decent snow level with not a lot of snow, to be fair. It's a decent amount of fun shortcuts and branching paths, and it has a cool skiing theme, but I feel like Mount Wario is far superior of a track. It's still good though. It's really cute and enjoyable to race on. Just, if I'm in a mood for a snow level, I'm gonna still pick Mount Wario or Sherbert Land. Wait, why was this called the Hyrule Cup again? Oh! Hyrule Circuit! What an amazing love letter to the Zelda series in a Mario Kart package. You get to drive all around Hyrule, from the fields to the castle. It's such a fantastic recreation of the game. There are tons of references to hitting the 3 gems to release the Master Sword, the Deku Baba enemies instead of Piranha plants, the sound effects that play all around the course, even the fact that coins are replaced with rupees is such an incredible detail. It truly is incredible how they were able to take a setting from The Legend of Zelda and make it perfect for Mario Kart. It's such an accomplishment. I'm not even gonna build it up. This is my favorite track of this cup. I love it so much. Hyrule Circuit wins. Just play it for yourself and you'll see what I mean. But Zelda and F-Zero aren't the only non-Mario franchise to be part of Mario Kart. We still got Animal Crossing. Tell me, everybody, what's the first thing to start this peaceful group of tracks in the Crossing Cup? The chaos of driving in Baby Park, oh my god! One of the most chaotic tracks in all of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's a short track and it even goes on for 7 laps. It's just so fast, and combined with all the power-ups and speed boots, it's complete and utter mayhem, absolute insanity, and I love it. Also, the theme park attractions in the background are really cool. It actually feels like you're in a crazy theme park ride. It goes by really quick, and it almost feels like it's so chaotic you don't know what happened. You could be first 1 second and then last the next and then first right all over again. You never know with Baby Park, and it's such a great experience. Anyone in the mood for cheese? Welcome to Cheese Land, where everything is cheese. Seriously, it looks like a desert level, but with gorgonzola. There's some nice turns, some great jumps at the end. You can even drive through blocks of cheese, and that's very satisfying. It's a great course, and cheese everywhere, but not really much to say other than that. It's Wallace and Gromit's favorite track. Wildwoods is okay. I love the treehouse vibes. They remind me of the hideouts for the Lost Boys in Peter Pan. Lots of foresty vibes in general, with jumping on lily pads, very nice rainforest, and just an overall beautiful track. Nothing too much to say about it other than that. It's Wildwoods. It's good. Okay, I honestly forgot about this track, mostly because of the track that comes after it. Animal Crossing! Like Hyrule Castle, this is obviously the best track in this arena. The main gimmick here is that this track changes depending on each season it's in. It can either be spring, summer, fall, or winter, and each course has different scenery and obstacles and different music, which is such an amazing touch that fits the series perfectly. The music remixes themselves are also completely different based on the time of year too. I think it's fantastic. It's so wholesome and sweet. And I love how there's different villagers in the background with the course too. Not to mention coins are replaced with the bells from Animal Crossing. And when the course ends, it ends with the Roost theme. One of the most peaceful themes in all of Animal Crossing. Perfect to end such a wholesome race. I'm an Animal Crossing fan. This is the perfect track for sure. It's cozy, full of replayability. I played it so many times and I never get bored. Time to ring the bell because we're almost halfway done. The Bell Cup. We start with 3DS Neo Bowser City, a course where it's not only at night, but it's also raining too. Probably the only time you see that in a Mario Kart course. It looks so cyberpunk. Reminds me a bit of the movie Blade Runner. The track is very difficult. You either love it or hate it, but personally, I really like it despite the difficulty. It can be really hard, especially since this course released with 200cc in mind. It also feels like a living city with enemies just around town, so it's nice to see that as you're failing this course. It's a fantastically designed track. Difficult, but really fun. Ribbon Road's very nice looking, just like a child's playroom. With the Mecha Koopas, the Jack-in-the-Box obstacles with a clown car on them, a toy Toad, all stuff Baby Mario would certainly play. Adorable for sure. It makes a fascinating course. You even see some giant carts and other toys and board games in the background. I love how these toys are used as mechanics in the course itself, whether to provide tricks, be obstacles, or be used as ramps to fly through certain things. I like it, and has some nice visuals. Now we get to ride the subway with Super Bell Subway. And I love how it starts with some subway background noise. It's a very interesting course where you not only have multiple paths, but you also have to avoid getting run over by the subway. There are small nods like mini maps of locations, graffiti all over, shops in the background, lots of Mario Easter eggs, in what feels like an actual normal subway they would be on, all while being a fast-paced and fun course. Not much more to say about it, but I certainly hope karting doesn't delay the traffic for work. And finally, Big Blue, the second F-Zero track in Mario Kart 8. And just like the first, this soundtrack is one of the best in the series. More fantastic F-Zero references similar to Mute City, but unlike Mute City, you go through it once. It's super speedy, sparks still fly when you touch the edges, you see the F-Zero ships racing in the background, even the announcer going, "Final lap," is very cute too. Combined with the rings and the waterway, it's just the intensity of this course is just such a rush of adrenaline. Even though F-Zero didn't get their own game, it's really nice that they got 2 tracks for Mario Kart. Although I would appreciate their own game other than F-Zero 99, please. A lot of good courses here, but if I had to pick a winner, I think I'm gonna go with Big Blue. It's great with its presentation and its difficulty. And it's a fun F-Zero track for sure. Hey guys, we're officially halfway done! That's some progress, huh? If this were a few years earlier, we'd be done by now. But now the booster course passes have released, so we have a lot more tracks to go! Yay! Also, I'm labeling these by their cup names and not their wave names because I want to be consistent. So let's continue. Golden Dash Cup, the first DLC track of them all. And it contains the first track from Mario Kart Tour, Paris Promenade. Now, what makes tour tracks different from other tracks? Why, you go on a different path every single lap at random, of course. It's a unique idea as you get a different path every lap to see more landmarks of the world you're in and make it more unique. Or at least I would say that if every single tour course didn't do that. But they are all similar in that regard, making each course almost feel the same, but with different landmarks. And this is the first, but with the sights of Paris. There's a giant piranha plant, which is cool. It feels like driving around a tourist destination. It's the first Mario tour course, and I can't say much more than that. Toad Circuit has a giant toad balloon! Other than that, it's okay. It just feels like another circuit course like Mario Circuit. It's kind of bland, the track is basic, it just feels boring. Something that even the base game wouldn't even choose. It's a fine course, don't get me wrong, but for the DLC tracks, the extra tracks you're paying for, they picked a very forgettable track to put in. Nothing more to say than that. Choco Mountain doesn't look like it's made of chocolate. Everything I know is a lie. Yeah, this course is pretty decent too. Although it looks more like a desert course than a sweet one. But we have a decent amount of dessert themed courses here already, so we're fine. The hazard of giant boulders out of the sky is really fun to dodge, along with the Paracoopas outside the cave and the bats inside. Some fun turns to drift with, but other than that, nothing special. And that's it. The Golden Dash track only has 3 tracks this time. I don't know why they did that for only this track, but I guess we're moving on. You just got coconut mauled. Share this with your friends to maul those coconut. Wait a minute. Coconut Mall is no question the best one out of them all. It takes place in the most colorful mall filled with palm trees and bright images. Multiple up and down escalators, different pathways and shortcuts, a huge gliding section, Shy Guy's doing donuts in the parking lot. Let's go. Go, Shy Guy, go. There's just so much going on in this track. It's just so entertaining to drive in. So fast paced. And the music. One of the most iconic songs in all of Mario Kart. You always feel joyful the instant this course is picked when playing with your friends. I love this course so much. It obviously wins. No question, no competition. This course is an act from God. I read it from the Bible. And God said, let there be coconut mall. And we coursed for 40 days and 40 nights. Or something like that. All right, second cup, Lucky Cat Cup. It's sure to be lucky, I'm sure. Lucky Cat Cup starts with Tokyo Blur. And it's another tour course, but with landmarks from Tokyo. This is the part where it's hard to say anything about the tour courses. I've never been to Tokyo, and it has some cool Mario references, but there isn't anything more. Shroom Ridge, another kind of basic course, just driving on the road in the daytime. Not as chaotic as Toad Turnpike, and you can still run into cars and buses, and the pipes are pretty. I'm stretching with this course too, I can't say too much about it. Sky Garden gives me Jack and the Beanstalk vibes, and gives me vibes of Cloud Top Cruise as well. Only this one seems a bit more bland. I know that's strange when looking at a fairy tale course, but again, I just think of the previous track that did it much better. Sky Garden still has its moments though, where you're able to bounce on leaves and giant mushrooms to add some variety to it, and the course is very pretty to look at. I wonder if there's a golden goose on one of these beanstalks. And finally, Ninja Hideaway. What a heck of a course. There's multiple different paths to take, going all around the dojo, whether it be on top or below the Garlic Temple, and all the levels of the dojo itself. Also, technically, this is a Wario stage, oddly enough. It's not something you would think of being a Wario stage, but you see his nose and stats right on the temple. Plus, there's garlic all around. This is totally Wario's temple. Ninja Hideaway is just a better name, though. It's great just to explore this track and see all the shortcuts you can take and the paths you find, all while avoiding obstacles and such. It can be very tricky if it's your first time, but I think the mystery of this track is the main appeal. It's the chance to really explore in a Mario Kart track. Yeah, Ninja Hideaway wins. Again, not a very interesting competition there. Like, the courses aren't even close. Ninja Hideaway isn't as iconic as Coconut Mall, but definitely the most amusing track of the 4. On to the next! Next is the Turnip Cup, which has nothing to do with Animal Crossing, so don't expect to make a profit off of it. New York Minute, probably one of my personal favorites of the tour courses, but that's because I live in the East Coast. I've been to New York numerous times. I recognize a lot of the landmarks compared to the others. There are vehicles everywhere, the giant Broadway signs, Donkey Kong the Musical made me laugh, driving through the subway in Central Park and inside of a theater lobby, and just the skyscrapers all over the place. I like this tour course, but out of personal bias. It's still another tour course mechanic-wise. Honestly, this kind of makes me wish there was a new Donk City course with new mechanics to it. But alas, maybe in Mario Kart 9, though. Also, there's a course like it later that we'll get to that in just a bit. Mario Circuit 3 is a course from the SNES, so it's going to be pretty basic. But despite its simplicity, it's still pretty fun. While it may be simple in visual design, the walls remind me of Lego bricks, the turns are a lot of fun and it's satisfying to drift successfully through them. It's pretty short and pretty sweet, nothing more to say about it, but it's a lot better of a second course than Toad's Circuit, based on the challenge alone. And that's strange to hear from an SNES course. Calamari Desert, the level with the train that's not afraid to run you over. A very desert, very western themed track where you get to ride on the train tracks. Cacti everywhere, but like I said, the train is the main star of the show. Whether you just nearly avoid it to get through to the course, or you go onto the tracks itself, almost playing chicken with it. Even going into the tunnel is a bit of a gamble. There's not much inside the tunnel itself, but sometimes the train will jump scare you for sure if you let it. Combine that with some fun ramps, and there you go, a really interesting desert course. And then you have Waluigi's Pinball, the clear winner here. It's so colorful and full of bright lights. The outside almost looks like an exterior of a Las Vegas casino. The big multicolored tunnel, that's the trippiest thing I've seen in Mario Kart to date. And the inside actually looking like a pinball machine. Literally looking like a pinball machine. With bumpers, electric flippers, the bright lights, rolling balls. It feels so retro and amazing at the same time. Not to mention combined with the turns and track design is just a wonderful time. Or should I say a wonderful time. I love it from beginning to end, and it's nice to see Waluigi music be used for an appropriate course instead of Wario Stadium. This course has a lot more style and is more memorable than the three others. Some even love Waluigi Pinball more than the regular courses. It's really that good. And now, because it's funny, I'm going to share the gameplay footage of my friends and I playing Waluigi Pinball, and we're all racing as Waluigi, and we all sound like Waluigi.
Hallelujah.
Look at all the Waluigis! For a second, let the course get fast, baby!
Time to rise to the skies with the Propeller Cup. Propeller Cup ends off Wave 2, and why break tradition with starting with another tour course? Sydney Sprint is another tour course with pretty landmarks. Has some cool visuals and an amusement park in the background. And going to the Opera House is fun. But not much more to say other than that, it's a tour course! Moving on! Another snow course with Snowland. And look! The penguins from Mario 64 are in this one! Although it's more ice than snow, like I love the fact we are essentially driving on ice and it's so slippery. From the ice track to the literal patches of ice. It's a very cute course with penguins you can run into, and they are literally racing with you by sliding. Adorable. And the snowmen and the trees in the background are nice too. Also, this is the only snow track where you can't go into the water. Like there's a hazard where you go into the ice water and it will kill you. It's strange because you can literally go in the freezing water in literally every other ice track, so why is this one different? I don't know. It's a nice ice course that's entertaining for sure. Mushroom Gorge, a sunny course with, you guessed it, mushrooms all over the place. It's a lot of fun bouncing on shrooms, both outside and especially inside the cave, which by the way, looks so gorgeous with all the Crash Bandicoot power crystals everywhere. There's even a fun shortcut you could try if you time it just right. A decent course that I loved more than I thought I would. And finally, Sky High Sundae, a full-off themed ice cream track. Literally the entire course is covered with ice cream. The ramps, the background, everywhere you look, you scream for ice cream. Or because you're falling off the track. I also love how the track starts with an ice cream parlor, with everyone sitting about to get a huge sundae. Also, everyone is so big, why? It's really fun doing tricks on the railing itself. Very satisfying. It's an incredibly sweet course. I don't know why, but the fourth course always seems to be the best. And unlike a lot of them which are remakes or tour courses, this is a whole new course, so that's nice. Also, playing this course really makes me want to get some soft-served ice cream. Like, I'm not even a big fan of the stuff, but it looks delicious. Can we get ice cream? No, we can't get ice cream now, me, because we have more cups to talk about. Rock Cup! I'm going insane. You take the London Loop and pull, and your tours are looking cool. Again, it's another tour course with pretty visuals in a place I've never been to. London stuff is more recognizable, but The giant chain chomp is nice, but Boo Lake! It's nice to see Boo get another course. It's a very short one, but also has great atmosphere. From driving on the spooky dock to even going underwater and driving and avoiding bonefish. Again, the horror vibes are great. Not as crazy as Twisted Mansion, but still has some trees with no leaves in the background, and you even see Gloomy Manor in the far-off distance. Feels like a very classic horror track. Decent size and quite simple, but still makes quite an impression. Rock Mountain, aka the level where you glide quite a lot. The Rocky Mountain aesthetic, going in the cave, going through the forest, speeding up the mountain with the speed boost and speed bumps, and even time it just right, you can legit fly through this course. I'm not kidding. It's so satisfying, you feel like you're just breaking free from the track. You're soaring, flying. Maple Treeway is gorgeous. Reminds me of everything I love about fall. I love jumping from tree to tree as the sunset shines, all while the peaceful music plays. It's just so serene, which is made extra funny by the rage Mario Kart produces. While Rock Mountain is pretty close, again, I'm gonna have to pick the last course. Maple Treeway is just so nice and peaceful and hits all the right buttons for me. It's the perfect course I want to play at the start of fall, until the beginning of winter. It's just such a great seasonal track that I really enjoy, no matter how many times I'm flying through Rock Mountain. Apparently there was a net in the original that's not in this version, but I don't know, I still like it a lot. Is this Mario Odyssey? Cause it's time for the Moon Cup! And by Moon Cup, I mean Berlin Byways, aka Tour Course number bleh. Did you know this Mario game references the Berlin Wall? My friend told me that while recording and I can't stop thinking about it. And that's the most interesting thing about this course. Peach Gardens is the next track, and I love how Peach takes care of her garden. The hedge versions of all the Mario characters look amazing, with the flowers everywhere. It just feels like a real garden. Again, obstacles like the giant piranha plant and the chain shops around the garden maze is really cool too. You even go a different way depending on what lap you're in. And while that's similar to Tour, it's a lot better in my opinion because it's not done every single lap, just the third one. Gliding and seeing the giant Peach grass statue is so fun, is a spectacle that's so great. It truly is a beautiful track. Please don't forget to water your plants, Peach. Hey, the holidays are coming up! Merry Mountain! Literally a Yuletide theme with a Christmas village. Driving on train tracks with a sleigh train in the sky, giant presents and candy canes everywhere, present-shaped ski lofts in the background. It's just such a great course for a specific time of year. It really makes me feel nostalgic for the holidays. Not to mention there's some fun drifting opportunities, and even some great jumps and gliding near the end. Also, the music is spectacular, and such a great holiday track. Definitely will be playing this on the 25th of Christmas. And finally, 3DS Rainbow Road. It's another Rainbow Road! A good looking one at that from outer space. And definitely feels more Rainbow Road than Mario Kart 8's Rainbow Road. My favorite thing is not only riding the titular road, but also you can go through the Star Tunnel, ride the Rings of Saturn, and at one point if you fall, you land on the surface of the moon. You really feel like you're in space in this one. It probably is one of the best looking Rainbow Roads in my opinion. Like, it's just so pleasing to the eye. But don't worry, it's just as challenging as other Rainbow Roads, filled with tons of opportunities for you to fall. I love it. So for this one, I'm going with Christmas or outer space. I think I'm going with Christmas. It's a Christmas miracle! Again, it's how fun the track is combined with the nostalgic of the holidays in one track. It's unique and sweet and makes me excited to play Mario Kart 8 by an open fire. Merry Christmas, everyone! Also, we've gone through like 4 Rainbow Roads now. There's only one Merry Mountain. And we're halfway done with the DLC. Oh, God. And next is the Fruit Cup. I can't think of anything clever for this one. Amsterdam Drift, another tour course. The trolley is cool, and I go underwater. Speaking of water, Riverside Park. A beautiful park theme with this jungle jazzy music to it. It also has walking piranha plants. I wonder if they sing too. They do have items, and I'm not sure how you get them. It's satisfying to drive in the cave and go through the golden waterfall near the end of the lap. And it takes place in a sunset twilight, which also looks amazing. Had a good time with this course. DK Summit, a snow level, but for Donkey Kong. This one is really entertaining, being launched by a giant barrel, going down a snowy mountain, passing wall jumps and fun ramps. Really satisfying to drift on. Even Shy Guys are doing some sick snowboard tricks. It's a short course, but full of energy and fun. And the music really helps out with that for sure. It's entertaining and doesn't overstay its welcome. And probably my favorite of the snow levels, excluding Mount Wario, of course. And I probably would have picked DK Summit for the winner if it weren't for the next course, Yoshi's Island. What an adorable, admirable course that truly represents Yoshi's Island. From enemies either in the background or on the course itself, from going underwater to high above the clouds, the bridge appearing if you touch the question mark, flying over a volcano with hot boiling lava. But don't let that cool you off. The giant purple thing in the background. Did I mention you collect Yoshi coins in this level? Because you certainly do. The references are just so charming. The music is perfect, truly a wonderful rendition of the Yoshi's Island theme. And I adore it so very, very much. Even if you are losing terribly in Mario Kart, you are going to have a smile on your face in this track from beginning to end. And even if you don't, you will by the time you hear the ending music. Do I even need to say it? Yoshi's Island wins with this music alone. I should really play the original Yoshi's Island, shouldn't I? Boomerang Cup, where it starts with a tour course and ends with a tour course. Yay! Bangkok Rush, another tour course. It has some cool stuff like driving on the roof and the stairs. I'm sure people who know Bangkok love it. What else do I say? Another Mario circuit, but this time it's on the DS. It's really bright and sunny and similar to other Mario circuits. Seriously though, it's really vibrant. Like they turn on the contrast a little bit too high. Not too much to make it stand out, other than the giant wiggler that caught me off guard in the third lap. That was fun to avoid, probably my favorite part. Wario got a stadium, so Waluigi got one too. And it's nice, but nowhere near as fun as pinball. But it's a better monster truck kart course than Wario Stadium for sure. It has some ramps, jumping through rings of fire, doing tricks on the walls. It's a pretty decent track. It's wacky, which is what you expect from the purple guy himself. Not that one. Also, it has artificial piranha plants, which is funny that Waluigi couldn't even get real-life piranha plants for his own course and had to cheaply make his own animatronic ones. Oh god, maybe he is purple guy. And finally, the second tour track, Singapore Speedway, which honestly is probably the most visually impressive tour course of the bunch. But kind of like New York Minute, I feel it's because Singapore is an impressive city. But it also has cool rings you could drive and fly through, a pool you can ride across, and takes place at night. All great visual things. Gliding through the rising fountains is really fun to look at, and again, the city is impressive. When it comes to course design, it's the same as all the others. Singapore or Waluigi Stadium. I'm choosing Waluigi Stadium. While Singapore is flashy and fun, I'm gonna give it to Waluigi Stadium. Mostly because it nails the monster truck vibe and the robotic piranha plants. Light as a feather. And next up is the Feather Cup. What countries haven't we been to? Let's try Greece. Athens Dash is a tour course, but one I'm a bit biased for as I love Greek culture and architecture. And this course has tons of it, from the pillars, the Greek columns, to the Athena statue. The music is absolutely phenomenal. Probably one of the best in tour courses so far. Other than that, unless Zagreus from Hades shows up in the course, there's really not much more I could say about it. Daisy Cruise, a course that takes place inside of a cruise ship, driving on the boat itself. And it's phenomenal. I love driving on deck and inside. I love the banquet hall that has the tables rocking around with the boat. The Goombas and their floaties are adorable. They're just relaxing and chilling. And I love how you can either take the high road of the boat or go underwater in the sunken area, again giving you a choice where you can find hidden power-ups and clams too. It's sunny, it's fun, it's a great representation for Daisy, a magnificent course. Next is Moonview Highway. Moonview Highway is a course at night that is similar to Toad's Turnpike, with driving on a highway. There are cars you can avoid, but there's also just a giant bomb on wheels that's there. Because you also go through a toll gate run by Shy Guys, and then you go into the city and it looks beautiful. Better than New York Minute for sure. Although it is a bit short, you're there just so quickly and leave just as quick. Hey, there's another musical poster here too. Which one is better, I wonder? You also go through the subway too, which is also pretty short, but fun. It's a nice course, but it seems to put a lot of ideas in at once, and none of them really stick around. In fact, a lot of them seem to be fleshed out in other courses, which makes Moonview Highway not too special. It's just Moonview Highway. All right, enough. Squeaky Clean Sprint is such a unique concept. Having a course in the bathroom is just a funny idea. Driving in the tub, literally going down the drain and driving in the pipes, speeding past soap and other bathroom products, which, by the way, I love how there are products with Mario characters on them. Plus, there's a giant rubber ducky and a Goomba just relaxing. Wonder if it's the same one as the cruise. He's probably had a rough day. It's adorable and sweet, and I like the mix of driving on bathroom furniture and going underwater. It's probably one of the most creative track designs in the DLC. And yes, no question, it winds up the best in the Feather Cup. Cherry Cup! Cherry Cup also has 2 tour courses as well. The first being Los Angeles Laps. Again, I have not been to LA, so I can't tell you how accurate it is. But it's fun to play and very sunny. Except for the oil rig, that kind of is weird to have in there. Also, there's one point where you go in a baseball stadium and it references Mario Baseball. And that's the only time you'll see a reference to Mario Baseball. Sunset Wilds. Again, I completely forgot about this course. It's a bit boring, to be honest, and has a nice sunset and some fun ramps to do tricks on. But other than that, nothing too crazy. The dancing prospecting Shy Guys are my favorite part of the track. But other than that, they don't do anything but dance and get in your way. Also, apparently the original transitioned from sunset to night, but this version doesn't. Why not? That would make this track so much more memorable. But it's not, so knocking it down a few points. Koopa Cape is a nice course that is pretty upbeat, especially with its music. But other than that, also not too memorable. It's fun going underwater and riding in the falls of the giant metal Koopa shell. Going down the river is literally the best part of the whole course, to be honest. Other than that, it's a mid-course. Nothing too bad, but nothing too good either. It's better than the tour course. Or is it? Time for Mario to go to Canada. Vancouver Velocity is a beautiful track. It has snow, it has trees, all the things you expect from Canada. But it's another tour course. I'm really getting sick of these. It does have some memorable stuff like the pretty lights and the skating rink, which has skating Shy Guys. Why are there so many Shy Guys in these tracks? The most memorable thing about this course isn't even something to do with the course itself. When I was gathering footage, my friend Liz, who you may know as the Watermelon, called it Vernacular Velocity, and everyone in the call laughed at it. We all gotta love Vernacular Velocity. Vernacular Velocity is my favorite place to drive in Canada. Screw it! The winner goes to Vernacular Velocity. Honestly, it's true. I don't really like any of the courses, to be honest, but that's the best one. 2 more cups to go. I'm going nuts. It's time for the Acorn Cup. Rome of Aunti. It's a tour course in Rome that takes place at night. The fuzzy rings are pretty neat. It exists. That's all, folks. DK Mountain. It's such a magnificent course. Gliding up the volcano face, tons of fun tricks and jumps to do. Riding down the mountain with boulders and DK barrels. All sorts of references to Donkey Kong and the Kongs. Like most of DK courses, it's memorable and fun. Also, the music is nice too. A bit more chill than the other DK tracks, but it still fits the mountain well. Daisy gets another course in Daisy's Circuit. And I love the golden statue of Daisy and Luigi. Also the golden statue of baby Luigi and baby Daisy. I love how her circuit has a cool village inside, and how there's confetti and flowers everywhere. It's very cute and fits Daisy's personality to a T. I still prefer Daisy's cruise, but the fact Daisy gets 2 good courses in this game is awesome. I love how Daisy's getting more Mario love in general with the fact she's in Mario Wonder. Daisy game when, Nintendo? And finally, Piranha Plant Cove. It's mostly underwater and has some jungle temple-like elements too. Almost reminds me of a lost city of Piranha Atlantis. Has some really fun ramps you can glide with too. And you can even see the Mario 64 eel, both in the background and in the track in the final lap. You can't ride them though. There's multiple pathways, it's cool PD Piranha gets its own course, it can decently be challenging, and overall, a good time. I gotta think really hard who the winner is with this one. Again, these are my opinions, but I think I'm gonna give it to DK Mountain. It may not be everyone's favorite, but I just love the atmosphere and the vibe this track gives off. Also, look at that mountain, and tell me you can't say no to that face. Look at that face. 1 more cup to go, and victory is ours. Time for the final cup, the Spiny Cup. Madrid Drive, the last tour course, thank God. And again, tour course, nice visuals, real world monuments. There's a wiggler, piranha plants popping up in paintings in a museum, and a giant soccer field. We're done with tour courses. Rosalina's Ice World is very difficult, but still very fun. I love how it seems to take place in the universe of Galaxy. I love the observatory, and it's nice to go underwater in an ice course again. Both above and below the water look so mystical and beautiful. Music here is something I adore too, and it's just such a cool track. But don't let that hot you off. It's nice for Rosalina to get a track to call hers. And a good one at that. Bowser's Castle 3 is so good, and completely different from the other Bowser's Castle, as this one takes place completely outside of the castle, around a huge lake of lava. Tons of intense lava everywhere, great ramps, thwomps everywhere, there's balls of fire launching around you gotta avoid, fountains of lava bursting, all combined with the metal music in such an intense and memorable course. It's really, really good, and a property worthy of Bowser. Also, the bone piranha plants are a nice touch. And what better way to end off the tracks than with a rainbow road? This one from the Wii. Ah, what a beautiful rainbow road that, like Coconut Mall, I feel nostalgic for. It's so gorgeous with the rainbow road that looks like water is running through it. Truly the most rainbow of them all. The star bits and galaxy references all around, including the giant star tunnel, it's just legit magic. Combine that with the music, this is my favorite rainbow road for sure. Although 64 comes close. Also, it's really funny how when you fall, you burn into the atmosphere. Like, that makes me laugh every single time. No matter how many times I fall, I can't stay mad at this course. I'm not even gonna build it up. Rainbow Road wins. This is a last cup for a lot of good courses, but not only is it a great way to end off the DLC, it's a great way to end off all the tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Rainbow Road Wii truly is a masterpiece of a course that shines brighter than any Luma. I did it! I talked about all 96 courses. Oh God. This is certainly the biggest Mario Kart game by far. And similar to how big Smash Ultimate is, I have no idea how future Mario Kart games are going to top it. It really is crazy that they decided to add more courses years after the game released. But I'm glad they did. It extended the life of this game every time there was a new wave. Whenever one dropped, people just kept playing the game again. And even before the DLC, it is, and still to this day, the most successful game on the Switch, selling the most units. For almost 10 years, this has been everyone's go-to Mario Kart. And one of the best, having so many tracks that everyone is bound to love at least one. Whether they are new tracks or runs from previous games, it's a great time for so many people, whether you are good at the game and an expert or playing it for the first time. It's one of the greatest multiplayer games on Switch, and I'm glad it got some extra life into it. No matter what track you choose, you're going to have a good time with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Also, Animal Crossing is my favorite track in all the courses, no comparison. It wins, it's the best. What's your favorite track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like button, and stay tuned for more videos.